Next. Next. 8210. 82? Which country code is that? Hey guys, you're now watching the third episode of Work Abroad 101. In this video, I'll give you 5 useful tips on how to write an attractive English resume to land more job interviews. There are lots of videos out there about resume writing on YouTube, so instead of talking about the same story, I'll give you some fresh insights based on my own experience as an immigrant. Honestly, I'm the person who believes active networking is way more important than the resume itself, like I said in the previous episode. But we still need this piece of paper for sure, right? Watch until the end so you can get a free copy of resume template that I actually used for getting a private equity job here in Toronto. Let's get started. Tip number 1, header. Use a local number and address. If you're applying for jobs before moving to the country or city you like to work, try to write down a local number and address there on your resume header. Otherwise, there's a high possibility that your resume might get filtered out. You guys might say, hey, you kidding me? I haven't even moved there yet. How can I possibly have them? Actually, you can. Let me show you how I did before I moved to Toronto. Back in Korea, I installed the app Tone on my phone and got a local number starting with 647 for free, which is one of the area codes in Toronto. You can make or receive a call and send a text message with this number you created, so it's very useful when I apply for jobs and connect with all the professionals in Toronto. I think this service was free 2 years ago, but now it seems like it's changed to paid subscription service with $18 per month for unlimited international calls. Still affordable for desperate job seekers in it. As for the address, use all your networks in the country or city you like to move and ask them if you can write down their address on your resume. You can always change it later once you move. Make sense? Tip number 2, language. Beat the ATS. Have you heard about ATS, Applicant Tracking System? When you apply for a job online, your resume doesn't go directly to HR managers. To save their time and resources, it usually gets filtered through the ATS software, so it's very important to optimize your resume for the ATS algorithms. Which means you gotta tailor your resume for every single job. Rather than using your own language, try to match the important keywords in your resume to the ones in the job description, and use jobscan.co to see what your match rate is. On the left side, copy and paste your resume and the job description on the right. Then, this website will analyze your keywords and give you some recommendations to improve your resume to get through the ATS. Tip number 3, summary. Add a summary statement. What's the average time you think the recruiters read your resume? 2 minutes? Or 3 minutes? You know what? According to the research done by theletters.com, recruiters just spend 6 seconds reviewing each resume, which means your resume gotta be eye-catching within a few seconds. This is why you need a summary statement at the top, a powerful introduction to your professional profile to encourage employers to look into your credentials in more detail. Try to make it clear and informative with 3 to 5 bullet points, which are relevant to the position you apply for. Pitch your greatest work-related accomplishment and technical skills, rather than typical soft skills like communication skills or time management skills. It's also good to add on the first line what position you're applying for to emphasize your interest. Tip number 4, work experience. Emphasize your accomplishments and quantify them. In the work experience section, whether you're a student or experienced professional, use the project-centric structure instead of just listing all your basic responsibilities on your internship or full-time job. And don't forget to include your greatest accomplishment from those experiences using numbers or percentage. Here's the example from my resume. First of all, I thought many recruiters in Canada were not quite familiar with companies in Korea, so I made a brief introduction of the companies that I work for on the first line. And then, since the real estate is a deal-focused business, I picked a few biggest projects that I worked on and described below the results and my main responsibilities on those deals. You can see I used the numbers for deal size and percentage for expected returns and how many contracts that I achieved in a year so that recruiters can actually see my accomplishments and clear understanding in business. Also, here's one good tip for foreigners who feel hard to make language on the work experience section. Let's say you're applying for an investment analyst position at ABC Investment Management. First, Google the same or similar position of other companies in the same industry and collect 3 to 5 job descriptions. Now, you can copy and paste them on your resume and paraphrase each sentence by using synonyms and the keywords in the job description of the position you apply for. Then, you can flesh them out with your greatest accomplishment and critical information. That way, you can save some time. Tip number 5. Education and skills. Make them role-specific. If you're still in university, obviously the education section comes first. Otherwise, the work experience section. Once again, whatever you write on your resume, they should be role-specific and concise, not just stating your random experience or courses. For example, if you're a student and applying for financial analyst position, try to include finance-related courses and any project or dissertation you feel proud of with a short summary. In terms of skills, language, and other activity section, keep the language simple and focus on what's memorable. List the software and technical skills relevant to the position you applied for, and remove the general items like climbing, reading, or basketball, unless you made a great achievement from those activities. Lastly, please do not write fluent in English on the language line, as your resume is already written in English, and you're gonna use English all the time in the office anyway, so this might rather make hiring managers feel concerned. So today you learned the 5 resume tips that will help you to land more job interviews. If you click the link below, you can download my resume and take it as your reference for your future uses. As I currently work in a real estate private equity firm, the template is very real estate focused, but you can use it for any industries as long as you tweak the language. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share with your close friends. I'll see you in the next episode.